Okay. But what equipment, like for shooting those green lights, like what settings do you use, or what equipment do you like to use for when you
Well,
make
I mean, I've always used Canon stuff, but in 2021, I switched to Sony, and mostly because the A7S III has dual base ISO, which means at 12,800 ISO, the exposure actually gets less noisy than it is at 6,400 or 3,200 ISO. So you get to like, cheating's not the right word, but you get to bump it up to this higher ISO and you get a better picture than you would at certain lower ISOs. And that to me was the reason to switch and to use that camera to film underwater. Plus, it does slow-mo at those ISOs, so 120 frames. And to me, that was the perfect underwater camera to do freediving in these dark environments. And I think it really paid dividends, and it was the perfect camera for it. There's no other camera that is that form factor and has that high of ISO capability and slow motion that, even the Reds or the Alexas, it's not the same camera.
and that's which Canon?
It was Sony A7S III.
Okay.
Was the camera that I used underwater. And then the interviews, I used Venice's and FX9s and A7S III and A7R5 for, those are all the cameras I used in the documentary.
Very cool, man. So, I mean, you're talking about, like, what do those run? Like $5,000, or what are they?
I think the A7S III is with tax. I think it's like 4,300.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
you got to buy housing for it and all that stuff. So it's like $10,000, like all said and done in the housing.
And
but
the housing,
I buy Ikelite housings. I can't get my head around buying a Nauticam housing that costs more than the camera. If I have, what unlimited money, sure, I'd buy that, but I don't. I've been shooting underwater for 20 years, and I've only ever had Ikelite housings. And are they the best housings? By no means, but it doesn't make you a better photographer if you have a fancy housing. So it's kind of my attitude towards it.
No, I like it.